Welcome to the Geekcentric podcast. Summer Games Fest just happened, and a lot of games were shown off. We're going to talk about them and everything else that happened this week in Geek. We are Geekcentric, and you can be too. Love ya.
Laters.
Bye.
Get home safe, guys.
Peace. Welcome to the Geekcentric podcast. My name is Nate, and this is our recap of Summer Game Fest week. Normally, back in my day, it was called E3, but Jeff Keighley has taken over. Thank goodness, someone had to. We're going to be talking about not only the SGF showcase, but of course, Sony's State of Play, the Xbox Games showcase, and the latest Nintendo Direct. If you're joining us for the first time, we are Geekcentric, a podcast celebrating the world of movies, TV shows, video games, and all things geek-centric. And we don't talk about video games as nearly as much as I want to. And so we had such a good week of all sorts of announcements, and I'm like, we got to talk about some of these announcements. Of course, I can't do this by myself. I need my player too. He's the double-jumping, D-pad thumping, difficulty bumping Darcy, the high-score headshot-hitting Hudson.
I don't know if I'm ever setting high scores. I like the game. I'm not a good gamer by any means.
I mean, listen, I think when we talk about high scores, you definitely strive for, kind of doing the more, at least difficulty bumping, I think is what I really want.
Yes, the difficulty one makes sense. I like punishing games for some reason.
It's like, dude, and I'll play them and I'll be like, I need a baby mode.
Yeah, I don't know. Baby mode, when a game is meant to be hard, that's the challenge. And it's such a great rush when you get past one of those challenging spots, boss, platforming, what have you, in any of these crazy Souls-likes or Metroidvanias that I'm addicted to.
In other words, get good. Darcy, we got a lot of games to talk about, tons of reveals, tons of announcements of dates and things like that. As to let everyone who's listening know, we aren't going to be talking about every single announcement that happened. We are going to have links in our show notes if you want to click, and maybe you didn't get a chance to see some of these things, and you can go through and find maybe some stuff that you really love. But we want to focus in on the things that stood out to us. And we're going to go in order of these events. So, Sony kicked things off with their June State of Play. I think it was on June 2nd. We all knew because of a press release ahead of time that Wolverine was going to be shown off. And Darcy, going into this, I was like, I don't know if I need to see more Wolverine. I'm good. I'm ready. Let's play Wolverine. And boy, oh boy, was I happy to see more of Insomniac's Wolverine. Darcy, what did you think of this fresh look, this bloody look at Wolverine?
I mean, I was excited when they first announced it. I was excited when they revealed the first trailer, and I'm still excited when I see this trailer. I mean, it's Wolverine. I'm going to play it no matter what, but just what we got to see this time around really showcases like the brutality of it all. I feel like it's really trying to be like, we're not doing Spider-Man. This is Wolverine. He's going to kill people. You're going to be covered in blood, and it's going to be fun. And I can't wait for it, man.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts. Like I think in terms of Insomniac and just how sort of friendly neighborhood they've been over the last little bit, to see just how gory this gets. I love that we're getting to see the mechanics of like his healing factor, and I think from Berserker Rage from a video game standpoint, all of these things just fit so perfectly with the character of Wolverine. Marvel's Wolverine Insomniac Games shared a brutal, violent, and action-packed look at the upcoming single-player adventure, Marvel's Wolverine. We got to see a glimpse at some of the characters that we're going to encounter as part of the Mutant Task Force Team X. Darcy, what do you think about them going with Team X instead of straight up being like, the X-Men are in this world?
Well, it's pretty cool because they kind of established the fact that the X-Men don't exist in this universe. There are mutants, and they might have the Weapon X program that Wolverine's descended of, but it's almost kind of hinting at maybe every mutant in this world is somehow tied back to that Weapon X program potentially, which is pretty cool. I mean, I think it's pretty cool that everyone saw the red suit guy and thought instantly it was Deadpool, and it's very clearly just a or foot soldier. Like you're gonna fight no-name lackeys and stuff like that. Just because he's wearing red doesn't mean he's gonna be Deadpool.
Yeah. I think it was funny because we do get to see other characters there. Jean Grey shows up. I will say, I did think as soon as she showed up, I was like, wait, Jesse Faden from Control? Is that you? Like, it looks so much like Courtney Hope as Jesse Faden, floating in there. But no, this is Jean Grey. I think she looked great. I think the combos were so cool. I love that in Insomniac Spider-Man 2, specifically. Some of the combos you do with Black Cat in some of those missions were so cool. So to see they're continuing that here, I did have my cousin reach out to me, who's, shout out to Tim if you're listening, who's excited about this game, but he has a little one at home. And he was like, I don't know if I can play this with how gory it is around my little one, but someone from Insomniac did go on record and say that you actually can turn the blood off.
I was going to say some people would probably be very off put by the amount of it and still want to play the game. So they're obviously going to have that accessibility thing. I think limbs will still fall off. There just won't be the splash of blood covering you to go along with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm excited to see what they do with characters like Mystique and Sabretooth showing up. I think it was good for this trailer to highlight the characters from a story perspective that are so important to Wolverine, and to know that they're going to be involved in this story that, the game is called Wolverine. So really, really, really looking forward to this one. The game comes out September 15th. So we don't have that much longer to wait, thank goodness. They also showed off some like skins, and of course we're going to get different costumes and different claws. There's going to be different claw options. I want the bone claws.
Yeah, I want some of those futuristic laser claws from like the Weapon Omega.
Dude,
timeline.
Laser claws. Oh, they're just so good with this, and it's definitely going to be one that I'm looking forward to platinuming. Another game that I wanted to highlight before I throw it to you to jump into one is Kimori. This was shown off a little while ago, but it is a 3-player co-op fighting hunting game. It kind of reminded me of like Monster Hunter, but you're hunting yokai. This is from the company Unseen, and Ikumi Nakamura was there, and she was so charismatic. I love seeing a game that looks so stylish, and then you've got a CEO and a director behind a game that is as stylish and charismatic. It reminds me a lot of like when we see Suda 51, Suda 51 come out and talk about their games. But in terms of this game, looking like art style is very Riot, very arcane looking, very stylish. And I think it's funny because there's a number of action games since Black Myth. I think there've just been sort of this deluge of action games, coming out of different parts of Asia and different parts of the world, and it's kind of felt like, unless you're going with something super stylish, you're not going to stand out in the bunch, and this stands out. Darcy, what did you think of Kimori?
Yeah, I mean, just what you said, like it stands out. It's different from everything else we're seeing coming from the East right now with the success of Black Myth Wukong and on all the other East Asian game companies and stuff like that. So this is really cool. I'm really excited for more co-op games. I like how we're getting more of these things that are meant to be enjoyed together, because gaming is a very communal experience. So that plus the art style, I'm definitely willing to try this out with you. At least I hope you're willing to play with me, because I don't know who else would want to play this with me.
Dude, let's do it. 3 players. We can get a third. If you're listening to this, you want to play with us, let us know. Darcy, I'm going to throw it over to you. What game do you want to talk about next from the State of Play?
Now, this one's going to be kind of wild, but I grew up playing a lot of Spy Hunter. And I'm not sure if anyone else out there played it, but Stuntman Hollywood just gave me so much Spy Hunter vibes. The racing game where you're setting up these action set pieces, and it looks like you can interact with the levels. It was just taking me back to being a kid playing Spy Hunter with my buddy, either in the arcade or when they finally released it in like on consoles. But just something about that is a nostalgic game that I again, it's racing, but it's more about the set pieces and the stuff, the action going on around you. I'm really stoked for that one, I think.
Yeah, dude, that one looks absolutely excellent. Did we get a date for that one? I
don't
think it
know
just
if we
said
did.
coming soon.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, speed, pressure, and spectacle collide as you take on iconic moments inspired by TV and movie racing greats as a stunt performer. Each film is split into episodes. Each episode is a unique level with its own vehicle and specific gameplay twists. From one episode to the next, the environment, pace, objectives, and scenes all change. Every film feels completely fresh, stylish. Precise driving and confident stunt work are rewarded handsomely. I mean, when the car flew out from Fast and the Furious, I was like, oh, a Fast and the Furious game. And not only that, speaking of Fast and Furious, this trailer starts Fast and Furious. Like it didn't even give you a second to breathe.
Nope, they'll throw you right into it.
You're right into it, and it's super super exciting. You know, we have the DeLorean is in there. You know, I think they're pulling from the Universal Studios side of things. But dude, this looks so good. Knight Rider is in there, and I did see something on the internet that confirmed that the vehicles from Jurassic Park are going to be in there. So maybe we're getting dinosaur, like animatronic dinosaurs.
A dino chase scene or something. Oh yeah,
on.
please.
So good. That is one that kind of came out of nowhere, and we were saying, you know, when we were talking about these events, we really want these sort of games that come out of nowhere. Yeah.
I like being surprised by these games that seem inspired by games that I played growing up, which seems like there's a lot of that coming around this time. So yeah, I'm all for it.
So good. I want to mention Moon Studios makes Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Ori and the Blind Forest. I love what they've done with those games. I wish what they were working on right now was another, I'm sure they are working on another Ori game, but their focus is on No Rest for the Wicked from the award-winning creators of Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps comes No Rest for the Wicked, unique, visceral action RPG built for solo players and co-op squads alike, set in the handcrafted world with Souls-like combat. The game hits PS5 in October and features 100 plus hours of content, new powerful weapons, new bosses and enemies, new areas to explore, and a completely reimagined class system. This is a game that looking at it, it does look like a Souls-like, Diablo-like co-op thing, and honestly, it would not be on my radar if it wasn't for Moon Studios and what I know they're capable of from a storytelling standpoint. This has been out in early access for a while now on PC, but I haven't touched it. I knew I wanted to wait until a 1.0, until a console release. Do you have any thoughts on No Rest for the Wicked?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of blown away when I saw that this was the next project coming from the makers of Ori, because it was a great Metroidvania, but the challenging parts weren't there for me when I'm looking for those harder Metroidvanias, stuff like that. So the fact that they're going full Souls-like with the combat and this time around and the co-op aspect, I'm really intrigued by it, because I played Diablo a lot growing up at my buddy's house. He had a couple of computers, so we'd hop on there occasionally and mess around. So again, the nostalgic vibes of these isometric top-down games, I'm all there for it. This one looks really cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to October to get to play through that and try it out and see if it lives up from a story perspective. Darcy, what do you want to take us to next?
Yeah, I mean, the next Dune movie is around the corner too, so I feel like it'd be hard not to talk about the game as well, because despite it being a survival game, which is one of the genres that I tend not to dive into that hard, there is occasionally one that I will pick up, and I feel like this one might be the next survival game I'll get into, because the power system in the world of Arrakis is so cool, and I want to explore it more. So the way that they set up this story trailer for it, as you're like you're a nomad. I don't know what part if you're a freeman or not, but like it looks so cool. You're exploring Arrakis, and I want to do that.
Totally. I mean, this has been out on PC for a while. It is coming to PlayStation 5 on September 22nd. Dune Awakening, open world survival game in one of science fiction's most iconic universes. And I mean, they're pulling from Yes, there are definitely designs that look like they are from the films, but the films pulled them from the books as well. And so I think this is kind of giving us a little bit of a blend of both, reminding us. I think with the next Dune movie coming up, I do think this is the right call to get this out, in this year and have a place that people can go, oh, I really want to play Dune after watching that movie, and kind of give them that world. I think for me, the as much as I love the idea of an open world, I don't know if I have enough time for an open world personally.
Very true.
Specifically an open world survival game that is, massively multiplayer, if you will, right? There's definitely multiplayer elements. I think the brand new single player mode is what got me really stoked about this announcement. And the fact that they've got a cinematic storyline, with additions and improvements to the gameplay. Totally. I also want to mention really quickly Rayman. Rayman Legends. What are they calling this one? Rayman Legends
Retold.
Retold. It just is one of those things. Comes out on October 1st, and it's a 3D reimagining of a game that came out forever ago that kind of became sort of the like, this is what Rayman is now. And I think that for me, like, I still love the original Rayman platformers, and I kind of do miss that sort of classic style, but the action in this, the sort of how smooth and fluid it looks, and just how beautiful it looks. I mean, get ready to do some couch co-op, brother. It's gonna be fun.
I mean, my favorite part of the Rayman Legends games was always those music levels. So the fact that they said there are new music levels coming this time around, I'd play it honestly just for that, because they are the most memorable ones. I mean, I still remember that Black Betty one from the Rayman Legends game, where you just play through Black Betty and it's the whole level, and if you know the timing of the song, you'll get through it no problem, and probably with the highest score you could imagine. So I'm excited to play this one again. This one has been released on every console for the last 10 years, it feels like, but I'm glad we're finally getting an updated version of it, at least this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a good excuse to kind of go back to it, for sure. Was there another one you wanted to jump in with?
Well, I mean, we've talked about Control Resonant before because we saw it back during the Game Awards. But again, this time around, looking at it, I'm just as excited, if not more, to get my hands on that game.
Yeah, it looks phenomenal. I mean, I think this was the best trailer that they've released so far for the game. I think it's, I love the shifting in gravity and just how fluid it looks like that's happening in this trailer. Playing as Dylan Faden, doing the melee attacks, because I think playing as Jesse in Control, it was very much a sort of a more ranged experience. And so to have this very much like with the hammer and everything, I think it just looks so cool. And they know what they're doing. I think that's the biggest thing, is they know how to tell a story that will stick with you, and especially the ambiance and the vibe. Yeah, dude, I cannot wait. That one is coming September 24th, which is a little scary because I think 9 games over the last week were announced for September 24th specifically, or in and around that 25th, 26th. So it's you gotta hope that they're not gonna get lost in the sauce. But I think Remedy is one of those studios that they know confidently what they have. They know their audience, and so I think they'll be okay. We'll be playing it, at least. We'll be playing. Ace Combat Wings of Thief is one that I never thought I would be into an Ace Combat game, to be perfectly honest with you. But the storyline looks really compelling in this, and I think having a dope narrative, a really big musical score, I think is something that I want to play on October 2nd, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I just hope that the dialogue isn't too cheesy. You know how sometimes some of these games they kind of are a little.
It's kind of why I stay away from them personally.
That's fair. And then there's a few more. I got to mention Tomb Raider, Legacy of Atlantis. It was upsetting to see it delayed into 2027, but boy, oh boy, I never played the first Tomb Raider game. And I'm happy that I never played it, because apparently it didn't control that well. And I'm sure at the time it was incredible. But it's so cool to see, a full reimagining of the game, kind of featuring new mechanics, full performances, and that looks it's just the fidelity and sort of the idea to bring it closer to a film is really exciting, and especially for the origin of Lara.
Yeah, it's really cool to see them going back to the beginning and giving it the love that it clearly deserved because it's such a long-lasting franchise. So, yeah, I'll probably pick this one up too.
Yeah. The Lost Wild, Darcy, is a game that, again, when we talk about games that come out of nowhere, there is another game, and I think it's called Jurassic Park Survive or something like that, or Survivor, and we saw that before, and I thought that's what this was until we got a little further into it. The Lost Wild's coming out in 2027. It just looks terrifying. It's a survival horror game with dinosaurs, and the fluidity in which these dinosaurs are moving, and the way that, I was reading that they like did a system where they really want these creatures to feel more dynamic. So it's not necessary that you're not going into like a boss fight or a stealth mission where the characters are walking on a path. These creatures are acting like living, breathing dinosaurs. And I don't know what magic artificial intelligence they got to put in this game to make that happen, but it looks unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, survival games are stressful enough for me already. I don't need the added element of the horror on top of it.
Yeah.
I will say this game looks incredible, and I'll probably be watching countless streamers or YouTubers play this and scream at it, and that's the way I'll enjoy this one. But yeah, it's incredible the fact that they're going so far with the trying to break the whole path system of NPCs. So I'm only looking forward to how that's going to impact other games in the future.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Great Ape Games. I've never heard anything that they've done, but hopefully it's good. They say each dinosaur has been designed as an animal, not a monster, existing in the world with their own instincts. The only thing I will say about this game, feathery dinosaurs.
They're accurate, man.
I get it. I get that it's more accurate, but it's just, I don't know. They don't look as imposing when they got little feathers flying off of them. I don't know. Maybe this game will change my mind. Maybe I'll be calling out to you and be like, dude, I walked into a room and there was feathers everywhere and I was terrified.
Well, I mean, raptors still have the massive talons. Feathers or not.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I also wanted to mention Until Dawn 2. Darcy, have you played the Until Dawn games?
Yes, my friend made me play it while he watched and laughed at my horrified experiences. But yeah, I've played through it and I enjoyed it. I also played through the Quarry, the one that followed it up. So this one looks interesting. The cast, I mean, knowing half the young actors who are appearing in this one was kind of the draw for that first one, and then again for this one, is why I might play it. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird that a new studio is doing it. That's the most interesting thing, I think.
Yeah, this is Fire Sprite Games. The original was super massive, and so this is a new team tackling this. But it looks like they're nailing the vibe of Until Dawn. It's funny because I did think that it was Addison Rae in the trailer, the TikTok singing influencer megastar Addison Rae, but it's not. It was actually, she's from she plays Moon in Cobra Kai. Hannah Kepla is her name, and so I enjoyed her in Cobra Kai. And we also have, speaking of another Netflix series, Stranger Things, Dockery Montgomery at the forefront of this trailer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this out. I think it'll be a great sort of Halloween time experience. Darcy, was there anything else you wanted to mention before we get to the big one?
No, I think you covered a lot more than I was going to bring up, but glad we got to talk about it all.
Yeah, and I mean, just before we get to the last big reveal of the State of Play, I will say I was very happy that this State of Play featured so many single-player games. Right? And so many single-player narrative-based games. And I think the one thing, yes, we did get a few co-op games here and there, but I think the big thing was this is such a better direction that I think that Sony is going in after such a devastating turn, pushing out these online multiplayer service games. And I remember distinctly, I don't know if it was a year ago, a couple of years ago, I remember hearing like sort of like, oh, the single player game is dead. It's gone. It's just multiplayer live service stuff going forward. And thank goodness that, not for those teams to fail. I never want any of those teams to fail, but thank goodness that didn't necessarily go that direction, because I just think that would have it would have just been such a lesser time. I don't know. I love these narrative games, and especially on PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're never going to see single player games go away, because even if all the AAA companies decide to go the multiplayer route, the indie companies will pick it up and bring that single player love that we want. So like it's a medium to tell stories in, and it's a story that you can be so immersed in because you're the one controlling all the action. So it is the perfect experience for a single player to do. So yeah, I don't see that going the route, and I'm glad we got so much love this time around.
Yeah, man. Lots of dates, lots of gameplay, really great stuff. Let's talk about the big one. We got 20 minutes of God of War Laufey. Experience the next chapter of the legendary God of War franchise for both new and returning fans. Death was supposed to be the end, but for Laufey, warrior and wife to Kratos, a new adventure is just beginning. To save the ones she loves, Faye must fight through the afterlife of the gods in a land overflowing with dangerous magic. God of War Laufey is coming to PlayStation 5. Darcy, what did you think of this reveal?
Well, I thought the reveal was incredible. I will say I didn't watch all of it because I do not like to play demos or watch gameplay, because I want to play it and experience it myself. So I only watched the first minute or two, and then I had to see Jack Quaid appear as well. But again, the fact that they gave so much love to this really has me hopeful that this game is coming out sooner than we think, because you don't show 20 minutes of the beginning of the game, because that's not where you start making a game. That's usually where you end making a game.
Sure,
you go back to the beginning and make that tutorial and introduce the mechanics that you spend with your time throughout the game. So I'm hopeful that this comes out sooner rather than later, and I'm glad that we're getting. It seems like it's going to be a very different vibe, because God of War Ragnarok didn't feel like a sequel. It felt more like a DLC to me in terms of what it kind of added mechanics-wise, whereas this one looks like it's going to be an all-new experience this time around. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, I believe, said something saying it's I think he thinks it's going to be something that is more likely sooner than later. So I do think God of War Laufey is 2027, and then I do think we're waiting for 2028 for Intergalactic, which is going to be excellent as well. And so I think these games are going to be worth the wait. But I am hopeful that maybe both of them are 2027, maybe early 2027 and
kind of
late
bookending
2027.
it. Yeah.
Bookending would be great, but I'll take whatever we get. Bear McCreary, is cooking in this. The afterlife of the gods. We get into this gameplay demo, and I won't describe it too much because you said you didn't watch it. You want to kind of stay a little away from it. But I will say the afterlife of the gods. We get in there, and I'm seeing a Mongolian god in there. I'm seeing a Egyptian god in there, and it's wild to sort of think about the afterlife of the gods, because what did we do in God of War 1, 2, 3? We killed gods, and so the idea that Laufey is there. Yes, there is that disconnect of, do these gods know who her husband was in her realm? Maybe not, but there are definitely gods who are in this realm, Odin, who do have that information. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to seeing how this plays out. And the best part about this is that it plays into the whole, how did we go from the Greek mythology to the North mythology? And I love that we're going to be getting answers. Sorry, the Norse mythology.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to correct you. I was hoping you just leave that in there. Dang it.
Good. No, they are in the North. Those Norse. people. I think the sword that we see, we do get a sword, by the way, Darcy, attached to some ribbons, and the ribbons have a voice, and a cube has a voice. I thought it was a gelatinous cube. I don't think it actually is made of gelatin. I think it's some sort of other cosmic.
That gelatinous
entity.
cube is what they call it in D&D. So I think that's just what people are calling it because it's the closest thing.
But it was so great to see Jack Quaid.
Yeah, I mean,
show
the
up.
fact that his name is Frank and it's spelled Phranquue, I'm already in love with it. And Jack Quaid is just icing on the cake for me. So yeah.
And can I say how funny it is that Jack Quaid is on the internet known? He's made himself known as an avant-garde in-game photo mode aficionado, or he's a huge photo mode fan.
Yep.
So to make Jack Quaid's character maybe the least interestingly designed photo modeable character is hilarious. That is super duper funny. And shout out to Santa Monica for them to make him into a cube. I am just so excited to see Deborah Ann Wool in this role, and just to kind of get to see her throughout a game and throughout a story is so exciting. The action looks unbelievable and exactly what I want out of a God of War game. But they did bring the jump back. Kratos doesn't really jump. He doesn't got the hops. But Faye has the jump mechanic. So we're seeing a lot of aerial combat as well, which looked really, really good.
Cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I cannot wait. It's I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked for that game. Darcy, that was the state of play. Let's move on to Summer Game Fest. The Summer Game Fest showcase, I guess, is what we might refer to it as. Jeff Keighley's thing. You know what we're talking about. First off, we've been playing 007 First Light. We are going to have thoughts on it coming hopefully sooner than later. How far are you, Darcy?
I just started chapter 9, so I'm near the end. I'm round the corner. Perfect.
Well, we are getting some Balma DLC.
Bavma. It's Bavma.
Bavma. So sorry.
It's just spelled with a W, man. Come on.
He is played by Lenny Kravitz. I will say, not to spoil our review too much, probably my least favorite character in the game. I don't know.
Yeah, not really all there. I mean, I'm glad he's coming back. Hopefully, we get to know him a bit more this time around.
Let's see if he's got some redemption in this DLC. That looks good. Darcy, what do you want to jump into here? There was a bunch of stuff shown off at the showcase.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to just start with Star Wars because Star Wars here.
Come on.
But I also am a huge fan of tactic-based games, your Advance Wars, XCOM, all that stuff. So the fact that we're getting a Star Wars tactics game in Zero Company and Anakin Skywalker is someone you can have on your team, I am so excited for that game. I love that style of gameplay and the almost chess-like moves of it. That is, it is. I don't know. I'm stoked for that in Star Wars. Anything I'm there for.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's I think I'm not huge personally on the that type of game, but you get Star Wars involved, I might jump in.
Anakin popped off at the end there. Come on, you were excited.
just a little bit. I want to mention Clutch is a game that I thought looked absolutely fantastic. It's a new open world racing game from the former developers of the Forza Horizon series. And we got a story trailer showing off some of the characters. It comes out in spring of 2027. But Darcy, I'm not a massive racing game guy. I do love the Horizon games. I do love Burnout. There's another game involving Star Wars that we will talk about, I'm sure. But the best way to get me into a racing game is give me what looks like an F1 style story, like the movie F1. Like, this looks incredible. I'm stoked. Are you going to get into Clutch?
Yeah, possibly. Again, I'm not the biggest racing game guy either. I like the more fun side of things. You mentioned Burnout, one of my favorites, Spy Hunter, all the stuff that's more fun and not so much in-depth racing stuff. I mean, I will say I recently watched Nakey Jakey's video on his second channel, Ball Creative, where he talked about Horizon 6 and how that story was kind of lacking in the fact that there were no rivals. These people who are supposed to be, racing and wanting to beat are there trying to cheer you on and mostly your friends. So I'm hoping this time around that we get something that there is stakes to it and there are people that you want to beat and it's not, hold your hand, we'll all get through this together type thing.
Yeah. Did you have another one you want to jump into?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about racing games. I got to mention, my buddy downloaded the last Hot Wheels racing game, and we had way too much fun with it. So I am actually really excited that we're getting a new Hot Wheels Infinite Rush racing game because, again, that's the fun side of things and just racing through backyards and rooms and stuff like that. I don't know. I love Hot Wheels themselves, so to play a video game with Hot Wheels just hits my kid heart so well.
You'll be jumping off of Control Resonant into Hot Wheels Infinite Rush when it launches on September 24th. A little bit of a lower price video game, $49.99 USD respectively. So, I mean, that's lower priced in today's day and age. And yes, it is going to be on Switch 2 as well as all the other big boys. So that's another September game to add to the list. I wanted to shout out a game that I guess a couple games that are on their way. Cuphead developer, MDHR, Canadian developer. I love Cuphead. I have had to reduce the difficulty significantly to play it.
I actually had to do that one too. That one is too hard for me. The run and gun shooters, I was never good at them to begin with. So,
but in the early stages, we had a Cuphead news broadcasting puppet show up, which was amazing. And we didn't get too much. We know that it is going to be again hand drawn, hand animated, handcrafted. But they are working on something different. We also got to look at Mighty Cuphead Adventure, a retro action platformer shooter in the 8-bit style. This looked really, really cool. Very different in terms of it definitely looks like the Cuphead gameplay style. But apparently they designed it to play and they used they crafted it using older technology to be able to actually make it play the way it does.
Well, it looks like Mega Man right off the bat, those old Mega Man games. So I actually enjoyed those ones too. So I'm probably going to pick up this one, and hopefully I don't need to change the difficulty. But I mean, it's really cool they're doing something that is also retro, but just the game side of things instead of the animation side of things. So it's neat how that's kind of their shtick, is just they're going to do vintage, quote unquote, stuff, but it'll be in different avenues or veins. It's neat.
Yeah, because I believe, the original Cuphead is very that classic sort of Disney old school
spaghetti animation type.
Yes, thing. But this one is very much in that 8-bit style, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they did say that it is going to be developed. I think they're doing
It's going to be released on Sega Master System.
Sega Master System is so cool. That's unreal. I don't know where I would find us. Hopefully I can find a Sega Master System to play on. I'm sure
I'd have to borrow my friends.
Yeah, it's going to be released
the only
on
guy
Switch
I know who has it right now.
Yeah, it'll be on other platforms as well. But Sega Master System, to think that they developed the game that way is super duper cool. Jen Atlas, Darcy, did you ever play Shadow of the Colossus?
I did, yes.
Yeah. So Fumito Ueda is back and creator of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. And this time, enormous robots to climb up. It looks emotional. It looks huge. It looks epic and lonely. All the things you want from Ueda-san. What did you think of Jen Atlas?
If they give me a horse and then take him away from me in a heartfelt race across a breaking bridge, I don't know if I can handle it again, but I'm going to play it, obviously.
It'll be a robot horse. It's not that bad.
Yes, I'm gonna love it just as much as a real horse, Nate. That's what these games do, is they make you fall in love with the characters and the world and stuff like that. They are such emotional journees. So yeah, I'm 100% there for this one.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. It's going to be, I think, 2027, hopefully. But we'll have to wait and see. Darcy, I'm going to throw it to you. What do you want to chime in with next?
Yeah, I mean, the trailer started and the witch hunt vibes of 1666 Amsterdam.
Oh yeah,
It reminded me of Bloodborne. Again, that's one of the few actual Souls games that I've played. I haven't played the actual Dark Souls series myself. I've watched my friends, but all the other Souls likes that have been released by FromSoft I've played. This one's giving me Bloodborne vibes in the best way, because we're all craving a Bloodborne sequel that we're never going to get. So anytime we can dive into this Gothic Victorian era with really cool mechanics for combat, I'm all there for it.
Yeah, and from specifically from Patrice Desilets, who was one of the original creators of Assassin's Creed.
The Assassin's Creed of it all, too. Yeah,
in the game, and his story. He left early on, I believe, in the Assassin's Creed franchise from Ubisoft, and so to see him now take the stage to talk about this game that I think he's been working on ever since.
Since then. It's been a long time coming, I think.
Yeah. So we've got I believe, early access on PC this year, and then console versions are planned for a later date. But yeah, that looked really, really different and unique from a story perspective, but familiar from a gameplay perspective. And yeah, man, I mean, I think when we think of Assassin's Creed, some of the best Assassin's Creeds are the earliest ones. And so to see that carried through, I wanted to mention a game that they showcased just very, very briefly, which was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin. Bayonetta, Nier Automata developer, Ninja Gaiden 4 developer, Platinum Games, is working on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin game. They didn't really show us anything, but it does feel like, we were talking about 007 First Light being a match made in heaven with IO Interactive, and so to see Platinum Games and Turtles, it just makes sense.
Yeah, and I like the fact that this is just kind of a confirmation that it's still happening after not hearing so much for the longest time. So the fact that we didn't get much, I'm still happy that we got something, because again, it means that this is going to come eventually. And like you said, the fact that they have such a history with ninja style games, it just makes sense for them to do it with this character too. So yeah, I'm stoked.
But are you excited that we have a new performance from Tupac in Stranger Than Heaven, Darcy? Are you excited to see Tupac Shakur return in a period piece about the Yakuza? What's going on? What world are we living
I
in?
still think it's a fever dream, because I don't get it. I mean, maybe I'll play it. I mean, I was never the big rap fan to begin with, but
sure. But it's not even that.
It's not. That's the thing. I was gonna say, it's not even him. It's just bringing back his likeness to play a character. So it's not even him playing the character. It's it just looks and sounds like, I don't know. I wasn't excited for this. It didn't pop off for me. I just was scratching my head as the why of it all, I guess.
It's one of those things where, I mean, listen, this was the first trailer that I watched of this game that I felt like, oh, maybe I could actually get into this. It's very stylized. It's very sort of felt very filmic. It felt very much like a movie that you'd watch, like a Tarantino style sort of vibe to it. And then I mean, Snoop Dogg was in the game, and I knew that, and that was fine. But Tupac shows up, and I'm just like, what are we doing? So, anyways, they asked, Snoop came out on stage, and they talked, and he's like, yeah, I've been playing this game, Sega, for my whole life. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? You've been playing Sega. You're making money. Okay, I get it. It's fair. So that'll be interesting to see how that develops. I want to shout out Crossfire, which I'm not normally into the Crossfire game series, games franchise. This looks different, though. This does look, there's a show on Amazon called Secret Level, and in it, there's a Crossfire short episode with Claudia Dumit from The Boys fame, and she's here again in this game, and it is a dynamic cover-based sort of. It's not co-op. It looks co-op, but it's you and one other AI-controlled companion character just surviving, and it looks fantastic. Like, I thought it looked really, really good. What did you think from former Call of Duty developers, Crossfire?
Yeah, it was surprising how much the story seemed to grip me, because again, from Crossfire, Call of Duty, the stories were cool, but they were never the reasons why I went to play those games. But this one, I don't know. I feel for these two characters. I want to know how they get out of this thing, whose side is right, type thing. I don't know. There's enough intrigue built with this trailer that I'm down for, and the dynamic cover thing is interesting. I'd love to actually play it to see how that would affect the gameplay, because just looking at it, it doesn't really do much for me, I guess.
Yeah, we'll have to see in terms of like how it actually feels to play, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm a bit of I listen to the people that I know like the same games as me, and if I get their review and it's anything lower than an 8, I don't tend to spend my time on it. Realistically, you know, it's a lot of money these days and time
Very
to
true.
spend in these games to just sort of go off of it might be good. I need it to be good. But Darcy, was there anything else from Summer Game Fest that you wanted to shout out?
I mean, I've never been the biggest Gundam fan. I've watched a few series and stuff like that, but the Gundam Rogue Orbit game looks like so much fun. I feel like this is the way I could get into Gundam and start knowing the names of the different models and all that stuff, is by playing through it. And again, I've loved some of the stories I've watched, but I've never done the deep dive. And I feel like this could be a very neat way to get into the series.
This looked cool, and it's funny though. I did have a little bit of a chuckle moment in this trailer when it looked like the Gundam landed, and then a Gundam came out of it, and then out of that came a pilot. Like it was, the Gundam's got Gundams now. It's Gundam.
It's a Gundam Turducken.
It's Gundam Turducken. So that's interesting. Due out in 2027. Yeah, maybe I'll get into a Gundam game. That's intriguing. You know, Summer Game Fest ended with a look at and a confirmation for the release date, I believe, for Final Fantasy. What are they calling this one?
Revelation.
Revelation. This is the third in the remake series of the Final Fantasy games. This was its debut trailer, out spring 2027. In this climactic conclusion, Cloud Strife and his loyal companions face a world that teeters on the brink of annihilation. Grieving a beloved ally, and with their nemesis Sephiroth nearing godhood, the party takes to the skies aboard the airship Highwind in a race against time to stop Meteor, the ultimate destructive magic and the total obliteration of the planet. There's a little more there. Vincent Valentine was heavily featured in this first look. Darcy, are you into the Final Fantasy games? Have you played these remakes? What did you think of this finale?
Again, I'm a huge fan of JRPGs, and I haven't played all the Final Fantasies. I have played most of them, and 7 was one of the first ones I played back on my brother's PlayStation when I was able to steal it from him, if you will. Mm-hmm. But this one I've played the other two as well, but I kind of waited till they went on sale because I've played the story through. This one I might not wait because it is the climax to this epic story that I remember really enjoying the first time I played it, and every time I've played it since. And the new updates they've done to it make it feel like a fresh game that has that nostalgic vibe, and this time we spend with these characters is stretched out more, so you grow attached to them even more. I don't know. I've really enjoyed the remakes, and I'm looking forward to this one for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's one of those things. I see these games and I see how beautiful they are, and I stay away because I'm like, I played a little bit of the first one, and there were just so many moments where it felt like the game didn't want me to keep going. Like there were moments that felt like the game was like, no, go over here. And I'm like, I want to keep going in this story. And it's like, no, go over here. And I can appreciate that, especially if you're in love with the world and you want to explore every nook and cranny of this gorgeous world that they've created. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not into it as much as I want to be. If it was a movie, I definitely would watch it because I really did enjoy Advent Children quite a bit.
So just watch the cutscene compilation that someone's going to put together.
That's what I'll do. I'll watch it like a movie. So yeah, Summer Game Fest it ended in a way that I know made a lot of people happy. For me personally, I was just kind of like, okay, cool. Let's get into Xbox. We got the games showcase from Xbox. Asha Sharma came out in her first Xbox games showcase, really her first sort of, talking directly to fans, and, sort of said a lot of things. She's been saying a lot of things, making a lot of moves with Xbox. And we don't have time to get into it here just because we really do want to talk about the games. But, they've got two paths in front of them. They can either make games for everyone and be the most successful game maker, or they can make, games for Xbox and for Xbox players and for their console. And I don't think they can do both. And this showcase certainly showed that they were saying they were going to be Xbox again, but also being they're trying to do both. I don't know. I don't know.
The return of exclusives kind of seemed lackluster in comparison to the non-exclusive titles they revealed during this the showcase.
Yes. Yeah. There was I think 20-something games shown off. 2, maybe 3 of them were Xbox only. And so, and only 2 of them, I think Bad Magpie was technically an Xbox only, but I don't think it's exclusive forever. I don't think that's one of the ones that they're counting as it'll never come to PlayStation or Switch. If it doesn't come to Switch, I'll be blown away. And poor Bad Magpie, because that game did look really cute. But obviously we started with Gears of War E-Day. I'm a big Gears of War fan. I really do enjoy the Gears of War games. I don't think this game is enough for me to rebuy an Xbox Series X. I did sell. I sold my Series X to get a better PlayStation, to get a PS5 Pro, and so I no longer have it. But Gears of War E-Day, seeing Marcus Phoenix in jeans and a jacket was great. I love that this story is it's funny to see, he's normally a big armor guy, and we're going to get civvies, that armor. Yeah. He's running around. But I think Emergence Day, getting to see that origin story, but also the origin story of the Chainsaw Lancer is really cool. We get a moment in this trailer where he's saved by a chainsaw, and you think, oh, is that the Lancer? No, it's just a chainsaw. So clearly this is where they get that inspiration. Any thoughts on Gears of War E-Day?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, looks neat. I'm not sure if I'm going to be returning to the Gears of War franchise. Again, I played the earlier ones, but fell off pretty quickly. They never really evolved in terms of gameplay for me. It was all kind of more of the same, and the story wasn't enough for me to return, unfortunately. This one, very long trailer to open the showcase, and then I mean, it looks cool, but they're not really doing it for me, I guess.
Sure. It's like your Final Fantasy moment, if you will.
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say they during the direct that happened afterwards, because they ended the showcase and then went into a even more from the game. They kept calling the holes that the locusts come out of. They called them e-holes, emergence holes. I was just I don't know if we need to say e-holes too many times. But listen, one game that I'm going to be an e-hole about, because I'll be talking about it tons when it comes out. And I didn't actually realize that it was coming to PS5 until I saw the end of this trailer. But it is, and so I don't need to get an Xbox, is Fable. Holy moly. To start this trailer off with Haley motherflippin' Atwell coming in as Isabel, the hero of Wraithmarsh, and to sort of see her and be like, oh, Haley Atwell, oh, I love her. She's so lovely and nice. And then you sort of slowly realize that she is the antagonist of this game. Darcy, what did you think of our next look at Fable?
Well, I just think it's really cool that this trailer is revealing, again, a hero that at the beginning who turns out to be evil shortly after announcing the fact that the appearance-based alignment system is no longer a thing. Because again, someone who looks like a demon can be a really good guy, and someone who looks really nice can be black as ice on the inside.
Yep.
So it's really cool that we're getting that showcased even more with this new trailer. And again, just the few glimpses of gameplay that we got to see, it looks like it's going to feel just like old Fable, where the moves are ridiculous and big, but you feel so powerful wielding them. So I'm really excited to return to the world of, Albion?
Albion, yeah, man. And I mean, to get I still remember back in the day, oh, you're a little chicken chaser, or whatever they call you, right? And the nickname system. And,
and all the actors too. It looks like we're going to have a lot of great like up and comers playing characters in this one. So yeah, I'm down for it.
Well, the fact that we had Richard I always mess up his name. Iowati, thank you. In that first look trailer, and it was so goofy and silly, and you're like, that. Yeah, I remember that from Fable. And then we get Haley Atwell in this one, and it feels so serious and dour, but we still get that funny moment of you just sent my brother off to the whatever without even asking about it. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
Natalia Dimitriou. Like, it's what we do in the shadows.
Oh,
like,
is it? No way.
Yeah,
I didn't even know
I
that.
can't believe you didn't pick
Come
up on that. Yeah, we're getting, like,
Me.
there's a lot of actors who are playing characters in this one, so I'm down for it.
So cool. So cool. I cannot wait. And I love the idea that maybe, I understand that the look of going evil or good is going away, which does make a lot of sense. And like you said, is highlighted in this trailer. But I do love the idea of, like, do you join her if you go evil, and do you fight her if you don't? You know what I mean? Like,
I know. I'm like, how
so
is this
cool.
story going to unfold when I play it? The 3 or 4 times I play it, like,
does she become the hero if you become the villain, right? Like, there's so many different ways they can go.
right? Like, I can't wait to see how you interact with these characters. The Fable is so cool for that reason, and I can't wait to go back to it with modern technology where we can do bigger and greater things, hopefully.
It looks incredible. And honestly, this might be a hot take. I'm okay. 2027. I'm okay with it. We waited long enough.
Yep.
And if we need to, we got so many other games this year. We're going to be okay.
February next year.
Absolutely. A game that I wanted to be shadow dropped, though, Darcy, was Halo Campaign Evolved. I am a huge, huge Halo fan. I've played all of them except for the mobile games. I've even played the real-time strategy games. I played the Halo Wars back in the day. So I really, really do love the Halo universe. I'm very sad about the state of Halo in other forms of media in the TV space. I've not read the books personally, but no, to see that we are getting 3 new missions 1 year before the Ring in this remake, and Sergeant Johnson, that guy looks better every single time we see him as we get more and more remakes and remasters of this game. Darcy, are you going to jump in and play some co-op Halo Campaign Evolved with me when it comes out?
Yeah, 100%. Like, again, I just replayed it, the first one, an original Xbox. My buddy loves playing old games on classic hardware, so
Sick.
we ran through co-op on that, and just seeing the new crispiness of it all, and seeing some of the prequelness, kind of seeing what happened before that game started. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm pumped. I think it's one of those things too where it's like it is an original game, but they're bringing the new elements into it. We're getting brutes. We're getting running. Apparently, you can turn running off if you want a classic experience. And one thing that I was reading is that they do factor that in. If you turn running on, that does factor in how your enemies are going to approach the situation and how they're going to move. And if you turn it off, it will factor into that as well. I did notice there was one moment in the trailer where a brute was shot with something and then was glowing and then started fighting your enemies for you. So I'm not sure if there's like a mind control gun coming into this. It does look like they're maybe playing around with even adding some extra elements to that original game. Cool. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. They've got space flight in one of those pre-mission missions. That's sick. I just, honestly, it's one of those games that I do kind of wish was shadow drop, but July 28th, that's not too far away. There is a limited edition that I'm trying desperately to get my hands on. Has a statue of Master Chief in the original armor. Come on. As well as an actual disc in the box, which is very refreshing for these limited editions. But yeah, I cannot wait. That game cannot show up soon enough, and I can't wait to play it on a PlayStation, which is the weirdest thing in the world. I don't know if my brain will be able
during an Xbox showcase. And
I know.
Both things we're talking about, we're playing on PlayStation.
I'm going to play it on a PlayStation. Sorry, Xbox. Darcy, I'm going to throw it to you. What do you want to talk about next?
I mean, I was a huge fan of platforming. That was, again, a lot of kids' first entry into video games were those 3D platformers from the N64 GameCube era. And so seeing Spyro getting a brand new game 20 years later, I didn't know I needed it, but I popped off for this one. I got so excited. And just hearing Tom Kenny just do be the kind of the full of himself Spyro that I'm all there for it, man.
I like his new hairstyle. It looks good. He looks like a easy, and I think it's one of those things where it's like Crash got it, so of course Spyro's got to get it as well.
Of course, man. Yeah.
And yeah, it looked great. It looked as modern as you'd want it to be, but not to the point where they're going against what it is.
It still looked like those classic games, like that flying scene that we see. I'm like, oh, that looks like it's going to feel just like those old games, just kind of polished off and tightened up, I hope.
And some folks from Toys for Bob were in an interview with IGN where they did say that flight is an anytime thing. So it's not
Ooh.
just that you can fly in a specific mission or between levels. Flight is an anytime thing, and they really want to
Sick.
highlight the flight and being
Sick.
able to be a dragon in this game. So that is really, really exciting. I cannot wait. 2027. I'm so happy for Toys for Bob that they were able to get out of the Call of Duty hole that they were they were put in, the duty hole that they were stuck in and forced into, and that they're able to just focus on the games that they love. I wanted to mention Resonance: A Plague's Tale. This is coming August 27th. I've personally not played the Plague's Tale games myself. I've heard really good things about them. They are sort of focused as like a AA developer, and this game looks like a AAA game from them, and it looks like they're playing in that space. I think it's from Team Asobo, and it just looks so much more action than I've ever sort of seen from that franchise. What did you think of Resonance: A Plague's Tale?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Never really ventured into the Plague's Tale stuff or anything like that, but this one looks interesting, and the story seems like it's gonna like really pull me in if I were to pick it up. So I'm curious to see what it's like. Again, I'll wait to see what other people say about it before I consider it myself, but definitely intrigued at this point.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Anything else you want to highlight before we continue here?
Yeah, I mean, again, talking about Souls Likes and all that stuff, Valor Mortis, the French Revolution Souls Like coming out with like
first
the
person,
alternate,
right?
yeah, and it's like the alternate reality French Revolution, Napoleon Bonaparte is in it, like just all that
Cool.
stuff. It seems like that. Just the setting alone is intriguing, and then watching the gameplay again, it looks like it's going to be very engaging combat. So I'm all there for it. I've been saying that a lot this time. Jesus Christ!
Listen, you can be all everywhere if you want to, but I think it's one of those things where that's also a September 24th experience. So you got a lot to play on that day.
Oh, again, I like to just, they all come up towards the end of the year. Some of them go on my Christmas list, and I got games for the Christmas break.
Yeah, Vincent Cassell is in the game. Who I'm trying to think
Napoleon.
he's playing Napoleon. Okay.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think of what he was in Ocean's 12. I guess I'm trying to think of what he was. I think he's been a villain a lot of times. Oh, he was in Ocean's 13 as well. Okay. Huh. Anyways, because that popped up and I was like, who? Okay, cool, I guess. But no, I do think the idea of a Souls-like in first person is really, really neat. One that sort of blew me away visually is Vivarium.
Yes.
Vivarium is a life sim adventure inspired by classic cel-drawn anime TV shows and films that look like the sort of the anime from like the 80s, arriving in 2027. This nostalgic journey is being developed by Studio Meadowflower and published by Serenity Forge in close partnership with Shochiku and Crunchyroll. A cozy slice of life gameplay, dynamic time system. This looked really, really cool. It was giving Ghibli vibes. It was giving Toriyama sort of in the character design.
Yep.
What did you think of Vivarium, dude?
Yeah, 100% agree with you. The Ghibli, the Toriyama of it all, I was immediately drawn in, and I always love these cozy life sims, like just the slice of life stories are some of my favorite anime to watch, just to, unwind and take a load off. So this game, I can feel like just being a physical form of those type of story. So, and that I don't even know what to call him, a cat pilot looking man. I just want to hug him, and I want to know what his deal is. So
It's almost like a walrus sort
yeah,
of
almost
bear.
walrus. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anime creature man. I love him already.
Yeah. No, it looks excellent. I did see some people online sort of saying like, I hope it doesn't go like horror. I didn't really get that from this trailer.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Maybe because it's like
Don't-
maybe the internet just feels like we can't have anything nice. So it
Yeah, no,
has to be
you
a horror
can.
game.
Things can be nice, man. Not everything needs to scare me.
Yeah, not everything. But what does scare me, Darcy, is when I have headphones on and I play one of the Hellblade games. They announced Senua, just Senua. They dropped the Hellblade. They made it cleaner. They announced Senua as from set in the Hellblade universe from Ninja Theory. This is an interesting one. It's an action adventure game with tactical combat, challenging you to overcome multiple enemies by mastering a range of weapons and special focus abilities. It is It's in a world born from Senua's mind, which sounds fantastic and horrifying and scary, set after the events of Hellblade 2. So I didn't personally play Hellblade 2. I fell off after Hellblade 1. Did you ever play the Hellblade games from Ninja Theory?
No, I have not played any of them. This one does look cool, though.
Yeah, and I think Ninja Theory is known for like technical masterpieces. Like their work in like motion capture and performance capture is unrivaled. And so I am really intrigued to see. I think one of the biggest complaints that I read in the reviews for Hellblade 2 was that it was just too slow and that there wasn't enough action and combat in the game. And this looks like they are going in that direction. Now, the other game that I wanted to mention before we keep going here was one that actually really, really sort of took me back, aback, if you will. Is that how they say it, Darcy? Magicians, The Devil's Deal looked very BioShock, looked very Dishonored.
Yeah.
Again, also on PS5, so that's where I'm going to play it. But this was like, I think the biggest surprise of the showcase for me, where I was like, hold on a minute. Because a lot of times when these games start off you're like, that's a cutscene. I can tell that's a cutscene. Mm-hmm. But the way that they transitioned from cutscene to gameplay, and it just looked pretty much the same. What did you think of Magicians, The Devil's Deal?
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I immediately thought of BioShock when I saw the gameplay and you're running around using these different powers and you just see your hands. Like that's just that setup alone and the aesthetics and vibe of the world brought me right back to BioShock, and I'm so excited that we're getting new stories that are in that genre because it's always so cool to explore, and this one just looks really neat. I'm looking forward to this one for sure.
Set in the twisted realms of Theaterland, a nightmarish reimagining of Victorian London. The trailer features Jacob, a fallen stage magician bound by a pact with the devil, wielding deadly magical abilities to escape his enemies, blending atmospheric exploration, fast-paced combat, and evolving powers. A dark journey shaped by ambition, illusion, and consequence. That sounds so cool, and I loved seeing anytime you can do like a card trick thing, especially in first person, where you're like, I'm like, just give me the Gambit video game already. But
so yeah, you want Insomniac to do a Gambit game next? Is that what you're saying?
Please, Insomniac. But to see this in first person, again, very BioShocky. This was such a surprise, and I think it's going to be great. Comes out in 2027. Really looking forward to it. Darcy, were there any others before we move on from Xbox?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was the Castlevania Belmont's Curse.
Yeah. Come on.
Incredible, and again, playing as another Belmont Rose. This one is a girl. I like how they mentioned in the trailer. It's really neat that we're continuing the storyline that has spanned the Castlevania franchise. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. The art style looks incredible, and the gameplay. I mean, it's one of the Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, and then Super Metroid are the two first Metroidvanias I played, and that's what made me fall in love with the genre. So yeah, I'm so excited for returning to side-scrolling Castlevania.
I mean, the fact that it's the creators of Dead Cells, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's so cool in that sense that like they did do the Dead Cells Castlevania crossover that looked incredible, but for me personally, I just couldn't fully get into Dead Cells. And so the fact that they're coming back and being like, we're just doing Castlevania now, and it's a full Metroidvania, is so cool. Set 23 years after 1989's Castlevania, Dracula's Curse. Rose Belmont, the daughter of Trevor. I'm very intrigued. I do hope there's a baby mode for me, but for you, I hope there's super duper difficulty. I'm
not that much of a sadist. The normal's hard enough for me, man.
So that comes out on October 15th, and that's going to be
a
masochist, right? I mean, you could be either if you want. But October 15th is when that game comes out. I think it's going to be great for the Halloween spooky times. Crazy Taxi showed up out of nowhere.
Offspring blasting. I loved it.
Yeah, I think the music, as soon as you hear that music, it made me really want to play it. I will say I am a little disappointed from the fact that apparently there is some Gen AI usage. I don't know how far that goes. I haven't looked into it. I don't know if it's just from a development standpoint. They were using it to make tools and what have you. I will say if it is from a development standpoint, this game should have been out earlier than 2027. I'm sorry. You should have
Yeah.
had at least a date for even late 2026.
Yeah.
If you've got AI doing some of that legwork for you. And I'm not saying it's by any means easy to make these games. I absolutely understand. And with something like Crazy Taxi, it's so beloved. You want to get it right. But at the same time, I don't know. We'll see. That was a little bit of I was hyped and then a little bit bummed out. I was also hyped and a little bit bummed out for my wallet. The classic green Xbox Series X was such a cool trailer and so well done. Kudos to Xbox. That is hitting the nostalgia vibe. Yeah. The fact that they show Gears, they show Halo playing on that Xbox. I was like, do I need to rebuy an Xbox Series X? And the answer is no, because the majority of games I do want to play are on PS5, so that's fine. I'm not going to go and buy a console 6 years into its life just to, a year later, the new one's out, right? So, yeah, we'll see.
It's a 25th anniversary edition, man. It's a piece of history.
Listen, you and I are great at enabling each other, but you're not that good. Okay?
I mean, I just gotta say, you have the 30th anniversary PlayStation Go thing, so I mean,
that's true. I do have the 30th Portal. You're not wrong. But that gave me something new in my life. Let's move on. Did you want to talk about Clockwork Revolution? It looked like the most British sounding game I've ever seen. There was a lot of like, "Oi, hey governor, you chip chop, chin wagging" going on.
Yeah,
but
it was very Cockney accent. I enjoyed it. I mean, it reminded me of Borderlands, just with classier version of Borderlands, if you will. So again, I'll wait to see more as it get closer to the date. But I am interested in that one. I'll be following the news for it. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. It's funny because it's just like a lot of it reminded me of that Magician's game, and I'm just like, I think I'd rather play the Magician's game. So.
Yeah, that is the one that took the cake for me out of those two.
Yeah, but you know what else takes cake and is very sweet? Nintendo. Nintendo often takes the cake. We had a Nintendo Direct, Darcy. We're getting into our fourth showcase. Thank you so much if you're still listening to this, sticking with us this far into the episode.
A lot of games came out.
A lot of games. And I'm so excited about so many of them. And I really don't feel like we don't have anything to play. And I think a lot of people thought on the Nintendo front that there wasn't enough to play on the Nintendo Switch 2. They better not think this by mid-2027, it seems like, because there seems to be a lot coming. We got our next look at Rhythm Heaven Groove to kick things off. And, this being a 50-minute Nintendo Direct, if it was shorter than 50 minutes and they started with Rhythm Heaven Groove, I'm so excited for Rhythm Heaven Groove. I still would have been like, oh, no, this is not, I don't know. And I also will just start off by saying the entire Nintendo Direct presentation, not great. I do think it was a lot of problems
of the four, I think it was the most lackluster.
Yes, even though some of the announcements in it, if you told me some of these announcements, I'd be like, there's no way that
on paper it's great, but like in presentation just fell flat compared to everything else.
And I heard someone, and I'm so sorry that I'm not able to quote them or bring up their name. They were talking to Victor Lucas on their reactions, if you want to look them up on YouTube. But talking with Victor Lucas about this showcase, and this gentleman had said it would be great if Nintendo did a family direct, an indie direct, and then the big ones, right? And even if the big ones is only 20 minutes long, 15 minutes long,
but you're just into the one thing. Yeah.
Yes. And if you want to see the indie games or the family games / like ports,
party or co-op
right?
style,
all the port stuff that's coming over, that can be its own thing. A lot of these, taking time to show off ports in this felt like it could have been a tweet. It could have been an email. It could have been so many things.
It kind of kills the hype that they do build with a few big announcements.
Yes. I didn't need to see as much Rhythm Heaven as we got, but I'm still really excited for Rhythm Heaven Groove, and I'm looking forward to July 2nd with the 4-player multiplayer Rhythm Heaven on Switch. I think I think it's one of those games that will play better than it shows, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know why they did an extended look, but
it was a very interesting choice. I mean, the fact that they're making it 4-player, just you had mentioned before that maybe we see or hear a WarioWare game being announced, and seeing the 4-player mode of this, I'm like, we're not getting a WarioWare. This is going to tide us over for that until then, basically.
Yes, yeah. But Darcy, you know what we did get? we did get another look really quickly at Orbitals.
Yeah.
And it wasn't our first look, but we did get a date, September 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
And we also got that you can share the game locally and online with a Switch One. So it's, split fiction, eat your heart out, right? I think it's a little later than I wanted. I would have wanted it maybe a little earlier in the summer, but it still looks great. I really hope it is great. And it is getting a physical release, which is very exciting.
That's exciting, yeah. It's nice to see games still getting physical releases in an era of digital downloads. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay. There's another one that we're going to get to in just a second, but just before you talk about the deliciousness that it is and the gumminess, Big Walk. I'm really excited about Big Walk. This is another independent game.
This one I wasn't excited for until I saw that extended look that we saw during the Treehouse afterwards, when it's like the developers and they're telling you how to play the game and how you'll be on your own sometimes, or sometimes you'll split up and you'll lose your walkie-talkie, and it's just like the world looks beautiful, the characters look doofy as hell, and for some reason I can't wait to play it.
It's one of those games that I feel we only see on PC most of the time.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah,
like you think of Peak, right, and just how phenomenal that looks, and I long to play Peak. I would love to play Peak, but I don't really want to play it on PC. So the fact that we're getting this game on Nintendo Switch 2 is very exciting. I love the idea of that. What do they call that, Darcy? When you're far away and it's they can't hear you. Like the audio, your voice chat is affected by your distance.
Yeah, it's like real world audio simulation, basically. It's like distance will matter, walls and materials will change how you sound and stuff. It seems neat.
Cool.
Yeah. Plus, I'll be finally using the microphone on my Switch too, because I never use game chat. So
that's it. Darcy, I recently got into a series on Netflix, a live action series based on an anime that is 1 million years old with over billions of episodes. And I learned about the gum fruit, the giants, and the pirates of it all. Darcy, One Piece Gourmet, take it away.
Grand gourmet, man. It's not just gourmet. It's
my
grand
apologies,
gourmet.
Sanji. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know I needed a One Piece cozy game, but I can't wait to serve all the characters their favorite meals and find new ones. And the fact that Zoro's helping Sanji find ingredients just seems wild to me, because that would never happen in the manga. But I'm all there for this adventure into the One Piece world, because again, the 8-bit art design is just fantastic, and the amount of characters that
over
we get
400.
To see, yeah, and they're all named. Like again, like these.
Wow.
Oda has come up with so much, and we're going to get to see so many of these things come back after years of not being on our pages or on our TV screens. So I am very excited for this one.
October 23rd. That is going to be a good one for sure. I'll even check it out. I might even check it out. I'll try it on your
The spoilers for you though. You're going to see people before
spoilers.
Well, they're going to talk about relationships with some of these characters for sure. Like, you can't have these characters pop up and not talk about them, man.
All right, we'll see. Maybe I'll have to wait until 2040 when the live action wraps up and I've watched all of that. Darcy, one thing that I did think, Nintendo, they make some weird decisions, and apparently so does Koei Tecmo, because we got something I wasn't full. I mean, we were kind of talking about it the night before, but a Pokopia DLC update. It was bound to happen. Not all the there's so many Pokemon that aren't in Pokopia, and whenever we would go swimming before, you'd go down, you'd drown.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. And they put stuff on the bottom of the water. And it's like, why is it there? If I'm going to drown trying to pick it up, I know that I'm going to go there soon. So I'm glad that was announced.
We are going to go there soon. But if you want to give the money for it now, you can. But you'll get to go there August 26th. So that was a bit strange to be like, hey, it's out now, but not really. I don't know. I'm excited.
It's neat. It's to start getting introduced you to it. I understand maybe they wanted to keep the momentum going for the game. Yeah. I mean, August isn't that far away, and again, we're getting the dive mechanic earlier, aren't we? Then that new town is coming later.
I don't know. I think it's just like they're doing very minor updates. Hang on one second.
I don't know. The fact that we're getting the town is only the first part of 3 is really cool. I'm excited to again see what other parts of the world are in ruins, and also making an underwater city or town sounds really cool to me too.
You get a dynamic ditto print block and wallpaper right away. So and then if you pick it up by August 31st, you get 30 rare Pokemetal ingots. So Yeah, I guess it's worth. I would just wait. I would just wait to get it. To be honest with you, but we'll see. There's so much to play between now and then. Darcy, I also wanted to shout out Wii Sports Resort. This was I think inevitable to see that Wii Sports would be on Switch 2.
It's either this or a Switch 2 type thing. 1-2 Switch 2.
Oh, 1-2 Switch 2. Yeah. 1-2 Switch 1-3 Switch 2. But I think again it's one of those things where it's like, cool, we saw that, and the thumb wrestling looks kind of weird.
And the me head on the resort body is horrible. I hated that.
Awful. I really want to play it still, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued to see how the thumb wrestling works. But Koizumi-san gave us a wonderful video that has been memed to death. Darcy, are you subscribing to the conspiracy theory that Nintendo knows what they're putting out from a memeability standpoint and does it anyways?
I mean, in this day and age, you can't not have a marketing team not aware of memes or what is memeable. So I feel like it's got to be intentional to some extent. Like you can't continuously do stuff like this without meaning to. I feel like that's too much of a coincidence.
Yeah, it just looked not good. And it's just like, but another part of me goes like, hey, you know what though? Like we've been to Japan, we've interacted with the people, and they're so lovely, and so I don't think they're thinking of that kind of stuff. And so part of me goes, I don't think Nintendo Japan, at least, I don't think they're thinking of what this might look like.
Nintendo's a worldwide company, so you gotta hope that someone is being like, maybe don't. Please don't.
Oh my goodness. Well, clearly not. But Splatoon Raiders. I didn't play Splatoon 1. No, I did play Splatoon 1. I didn't play Splatoon 2 or 3. And I know there was a single player mode in 3. I'm pretty sure.
In most of them, actually.
In most
There's
of
a
them,
single player
okay.
mode in all of them. I played the first two, and there was in those two games at least. It's why I liked the game. I was again not a big multiplayer guy, so.
But Splatoon Raiders being a full single player, what did you think of this new look at Splatoon Raiders?
I mean, the single player is the only part of Splatoon I have enjoyed a lot of, so I'm looking forward to seeing what a full game looks like. If it's going to feel more fleshed out than the mission-based stuff that we got in previous games. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Again, I'll wait and see what reviews say, if it's worth picking up, or wait until it's on sale or whatever. But it's cool. It looks neat.
Yeah, the characters are always one of those things, I see the amiibos often, and seeing the big man amiibo and all these different, there's those cats, the big one and the little one or whatever. And I'm like, these characters look so charming and delightful. So if there's a story that kind of gives us a little more from them, I would love that. Mm-hmm. It's out on July 23rd, and we are going to be getting a direct on June 30th. That's going to show us more. So maybe we'll get to see a little bit more into that story. Star Fox got a demo. Darcy, have you tried the demo for Star Fox on the Switch 2 yet?
No. Again, I've played that game so many times. I don't need a demo for it. I'm going to wait for the wide release, if you will.
That's fair. I also wanted to mention Hello Kitty Party Land. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure that'll be great. But it's great to see Deltarune is continuing actively, and they're sticking to their guns and putting out these different chapters. I got Deltarune on Switch 2 because so many people were like, "It's so good, it's so good." I haven't touched it, dude.
I know it's not your style of game. I have a hard time getting into that type of thing. My friends love it, so I watch them play it. Yeah. But myself, it's another one I've picked up. I'm looking forward to watching my best friend play it. Like I've watched the other 4 chapters. So
that's fair. Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 coming to Nintendo Switch 2 on October 8th. Native, not streaming like they were on Switch 1, which I also just learned that the Switch 1 versions are going to be delisted, and also the service for them will be shut off, which you signed. Listen, the marketing side, the business side, you signed up for it. You should know what you're signing up for when you're buying these things. But I do think there's a ton of people that are out there that probably are like, I just wanted to buy Kingdom Hearts on my Switch 1, and now I can't play it anymore, and they're going to be taking it away. I think the part that bugs me the most is that they're taking it away before you have the opportunity to actually play
get the new one.
The Switch 2 one. You know,
Yeah.
you can get a discount on it, but I will say, having played Kingdom Hearts 1 and most of Kingdom Hearts 2, and never touched Kingdom Hearts 3, this did look like something that I might be intrigued by to get into, with it being sort of, you know, crisper graphically. It's late. I'm losing it here. But what did you think of Kingdom Hearts 1 to 3 and 4 being shown at a Nintendo Direct?
Dude, the fact that we got the 4 reveal was incredible. I mean, I picked up the collection on PS5 a while ago, so I've recently replayed through all of them. I don't need that again or on another console. It's cool that there's another option out there for people who haven't gotten into it yet, especially because it is the full collection with all the side games that really make the timeline confusing, even more so than the regular games. But 4, that looks incredible. I mean,
it looks really good.
We're in the real world. And the Heartless are coming here, and the Heartless have evolved to be way more scary than those cute little guys from the first game. So,
and Star Wars
I'm down.
Is going to be in it, Darcy?
Yeah.
Come on.
Dude.
Come on. Unreal.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, and I mean,
like Marvel could be in there too.
That's
like,
what I'm saying,
We
dude.
haven't seen it.
You get Iron Man flying through that city at a certain point. Let's go, dude. No, it's one of those things where seeing 4 is really what pushed me to be like,
maybe you got to go back and do 3.
1, 2, 3, and maybe, or just 2 and 3, or what have you, because I'm pretty sure I remember most of 1. But yeah, it's great that we're gonna have that on Switch 2 and have a dedicated home for it on a Nintendo console. But it was at this point, Darcy, in the Direct, before we continue to the final thing, was there anything you wanted to highlight before we keep going?
Yes, I mean, I've been talking about Souls-likes and Souls, blah, blah, blah. All
yeah,
this.
sorry.
FromSoft's next game is a Switch 2 exclusive,
Yes.
Duskbloods, and we got more to look at that, and it looks so good. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Night Rain consistently since that one came out, because I've got friends who don't live near me, and the way we hang out is by playing that game together. So the fact that we're getting another opportunity with this another online multiplayer FromSoft game with these really cool looking characters, again, close enough to that Bloodborne aesthetic that I really want to play it. So yeah, I cannot wait for this one.
Yeah, it's there is a network test for the game coming in summer 2026. This summer, soon.
Yeah.
Because we're in summer, so that'll be good. You can hop on that and let me know how difficult it is, and to not play it for me personally. Was there anything else you wanted to chime in on that we may have skipped over? Yeah,
between Metroidvanias and JRPGs, I have a hard time deciding which is my favorite genre. But of the recent years, the Xenoblade series was one that really got me back into JRPGs, and the new Genesis one looks phenomenal.
So good.
Like, it looks insane.
Xenoblade?
I didn't think it was Xenoblade until we saw the title reveal at the end type thing. I'm like, I am on board for this. Like, yeah, I that one looks wicked.
Yeah, that does look really, really good, and it's a new beginning for the Xenoblade series. So part of me thinks a new beginning, maybe I don't have to go through 1, 2, and 3.
I think it is a standalone or a reboot, whatever you want. Like, yeah.
Okay.
I think it might be worth it. Although, be warned, the Xenoblade series are those, like a classic JRPG. They
Millions
are
of
massive
hours.
time sinks.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Again, I'm staying on the JRPG route too with the last one I want to bring up, because while I am excited for Final Fantasy Revelation, I think I'm more excited for the 2.5 HD remake or HD game, the Final Fantasy Resonance. It looks phenomenal, man.
Really
like,
good
oh
looking.
my
What a
god, the
surprise.
art. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, the 2D 8-bit stuff. I love that aesthetic that they've done in Octopath Traveler and the Dragon Quest game that got remade in that style. It's always so cool to see, and this one is taking it to the next level. Like the dynamic animations that we're getting from these pixelated things is so cool. I cannot wait to play it. Plus the fact that we're bringing in heroes from all Final Fantasy games. I mean,
yes,
again, I haven't played them all, but there's enough that I'm going to be excited for. So,
dude, there were some robot chocobos running around in there that looked really cool. And like, I think it's one of those things where this, there was some hubbub that came out about this where people were like, it's a mobile game. There was a mobile game. They did come out and clarify. Square came out and clarified it is based on the story from the mobile game, but the mechanics, the gameplay, like pretty much everything is brand new.
Yeah.
And that is really exciting. And it might be, listen, I really want to get into these games. I tried the Mysterious Elliot or whatever it's called, the Millennium Tales or whatever, Elliot in his big old hat or whatever the game is. And I honestly love the look of it. The storyline's really intriguing. The voice acting's great. The music is fantastic. And I like the action. And then I played a bit of Sea of Stars, and that looked really good. But like, I want to love it. I want to love it as much as Pokemon, and I know I can. I know there's something in my heart that is drawing me to it.
Yeah, that's when those games you crank down to easy baby mode and just fly through them, man. Those are the JRPGs where I'll allow you to make it easier to just cut down on the time, because I
appreciate it.
They are time sinks, man.
So many games with resonance in the title as well. It's crazy.
Resonant, yeah. Oh yeah.
Resonant. Darcy, I'm champing at the bit here. Are we going to talk about the final announcement from this direct?
Well, I hope so. I mean,
Okay.
I've got multiple tattoos dedicated to this franchise.
Okay. New Stellar Blade game coming. That actually looked pretty good too.
It did look neat. I did play the first one, so yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. But speaking of butts, let's. I don't know what it's called. I guess because Stellar Blade. Anyways, it's late. And it was at this point in the direct that, honestly, Darcy, my heart was like hurting. Like my chest was, I was like, we don't have time. It's only 50 minutes. And Nintendo normally sticks to 50 minutes on the dot. And they didn't. And I'm so thankful that they didn't, because we did get our first look at The Legend of Zelda, the Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, could I have used more of this game to fully be hyped up. But for what we got, I will say the music gave me full body chills going into this. Hearing
just the way that we get the little motifs, like not even full things, just
the narration coming, over the top. It reminded me of the opening of Wind Waker, right? But it's Ocarina, and I just think it's one of those things where it's like, I really like how this game is shaping up, what it looks like. It reminded me of the Ember Labs short, the Kena developer. They are an animation studio beyond just being a Kena developer, and I can't wait for the next Kena game. That looks so good. But the way that they're showing this off, the reflections on fingernails on this little kid sleeping, Darcy, have at it. What did you think of our first look at the remake of The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time?
Again, I wish we got more than just the slow pan over a tapestry and then a sleeping boy, but it was cool. I'm hedging my thoughts so far. I love the way the world looks and everything that we saw around it, but the redesign of Link is something that I'm maybe not on board with. You mentioned Kena and Emberdark, and the Pixar-ness of their animation style has never been something that I've imagined Link as, and seeing this version of Link, I don't know, it's the too thick to be proportionate arms and the stockiness. He doesn't look like a little boy. He looks like a little dwarf, and that's not what he is. Like, I don't know, it's just, he doesn't look like Link to me, and it's kind of hurting. Again, maybe I'll change my mind when I see him in motion and everything like that, but what we got is kind of, it's not my version of Link or vision of Link, if you will.
Part of me wonders, though, if they kind of have to go that route from a, I think they're going to want to keep as much of that original game as possible. And so from a mechanic standpoint and from a movement standpoint and from other, sort of situations like that, I just wonder if they kind of have to sort of keep that bit of chunkiness from the original.
Because I never got chunky from the 64 or the 3DS games.
But we're translating that character model, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like it could have. Again, maybe it'll be different in motion, but right now he doesn't. It looks too Pixar.
Sure.
To put it simply,
Yeah. I'm blown away by it. It was one of those things that I was like freaking out, but it was one of those moments where it ends. It says 2026, which we kind of felt like that was going to be the case anyways. I think this announcement would have popped off significantly more had this not leaked. I think we would have all been like losing our freaking minds and not maybe even expected more, but this did really feel like a teaser trailer.
Yeah.
And not necessarily like an actual trailer or look. And I'm sure we're going to get that later. I'm sure we're going to get a direct. I feel like we are going to get a direct or a release date post the September price raise of $50 on the Switch 2. I think that is something that they are really strategically looking at as a way to soothe over the feeling of like, oh, the price is going up on Switch 2, and now, but it's like, but Zelda, you can get the new Zelda. Come on, Darcy. When do you think we see more of this game, and then when do you think this game comes out?
And I'm thinking August, September area is where I see them announcing either the date and giving us a more in-depth look. Maybe again doing a direct dedicated to Zelda and celebrating 40 years of Zelda now.
It's the 40th anniversary, and they've not said anything.
Yeah, so I feel like we're gonna get a direct before the end of the year for sure. Maybe even was trying to land on that release date, if you will, but of the original game, that is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we'll probably see it by the end of the year too. The game is probably coming by the end of the year. They want to hit that holiday window. I feel like why not? It's one of the games that brought them to the world level of selling games, and why not do it again with this celebration of it? What I really was hoping for was the confirmation of what style of game too, because we've heard that it was going to be a top-down remake that would maybe look like this, and again, they've looking down on him from the bed. I know we didn't get any closer, but that is kind of the aspect that you kind of would start at from those classic Zelda games. So I don't know. I want to see more. I that was also why I was a bit let down, is that we didn't get more confirmation. We just got kind of what we knew where he was going to come. So
I think it is a bit worrisome to have that idea. I do think though, I think they have to nail it with this, and I think the best way to nail it, honestly, is to not necessarily fix too much of what was there before, right? If it ain't broken, don't fix it. And I think there are some things that are a bit broken that they did fix in the 3DS version, and I think they're going to go even further with that. And I'm looking forward to better camera controls, and I think the lock-on system is still going to be there, and I think the things that make that game are still going to be there. But I do think that we are going to see, obviously, a much more cinematic presentation. I think the cinematics are going to look much better. I am hoping maybe some voice acting. I don't know. Maybe not. They don't need to, but it would be cool.
No, because they like Zelda has been a worldwide game without languages or voice acting for so long. It's
right.
Only the Breath of the Wild
because Breath of the Wild and Tears had it in the
cinematic.
So
they just make people think you need them. It's like, no, Zelda has gone for so long without talking. You're fine without voice acting, man.
But we'll see. I don't think they're too worried about GTA, but I do wonder if November. I'm hoping it's earlier than November, personally. And not necessarily because of GTA, but no, I cannot wait for this game. I think this is going to be a system seller. I think this is, if Pacopia already didn't move a ton of Switch 2s, I think this is going to come right up and start getting people to buy them.
Yeah,
for sure.
We're definitely getting to the point where it's now worth it to get a Switch 2 because there are so many great games that'll be Switch 2 titles. Yeah. And one thing I do hope they fix in the new update, I hope the King Zora moves faster. Get out of that way faster, man. He shuffles so slowly on the 64. It takes like a good minute and a half to him shuffle out of the way. God.
Yeah. But I think one thing that I am hopeful for as well is that they do maintain the. It's funny because I think people look at Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and they think that was the first time that they sort of let you approach tackling the world and the quest, in your own way. But really, that's not the case because I still remember to this day, I didn't beat Ocarina of Time on the 64. I played it on the 64. I beat it on the 3DS. And I significantly specifically remember a moment where my buddy was like, wait, you don't have the fire arrows? How are you here at this point in the game and you don't have the fire arrows? And I'm like, I just shot through the fire to hit the candle, like through the candle to hit the like I thought that's what you're supposed to do. And he's like, no, you're playing it on hard mode. You didn't have to do all that. And I love that. That was such a cool feeling of like, wow, like I got to do this my own way. So I do hope that's retained in this and maybe even embellished a little bit from Tears of the Kingdom.
Again, the reason why you were able to do that was because fire arrows you could run out of them.
Yeah.
So they were not as easy to find as your regular arrows. So you could still do it if you ran out of the one finite resource, but the way that you only did it like that is the impressive part, I guess.
I was blown away with myself. I'm like, oh, that's impressive. But I cannot wait for this game. Devin's song came up. She replaced Doug Bowser as the head of Nintendo of America, and I was just like yelling at her. I was like, hey, I appreciate so much what you're doing. Show me more of this game right now, Devin's song. I don't need to see anything else that you're showing me after this. Just show me this game. They didn't. I think it would have been great just to see literally the same thing, 2026 release date at the end, just going up over the hill, looking at the castle. Like, just get onto Hyrule Field.
Give me that title screen.
Right?
Give me the new title screen.
Something like that.
Hyrule Field and Epona, like
just to your point, to show us that, like, hey, don't worry, this is the 64 gameplay.
Yeah,
that you're
like give us
for.
that same again, rolling over the field as the title's there, and then you see Epona. Like, yeah, it would work,
bro. I can't wait. But listen, Darcy, we talked about so many games. There are so many games. It's such a good time to be a gamer. And rest assured, we are going to keep talking about a lot of these games and a lot of these things coming up, and we're hoping to maybe review more games on this channel for you to listen to and to hear about. Again, as I mentioned, we are working our way through 007 First Light, or Darcy is. I've rolled credits, and we're so close to being able to just kind of talk about all the things in full spoilers, which will be great. I think we can talk about it a little bit, not spoilers, and then full spoilers.
Yeah, we'll break it in half for sure.
We'll break it in half and break it down for all of you listening. But that is it for our recap of Summer Game Fest week, E3 week.
All the games.
All the games. Oops, all games edition. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to share your thoughts on these games or any of the movies or series that we cover, let me have Darcy enter a secret code. Do you know the code? You know what code it is?
Up, down, left, right, start.
BA start.
BA start. Oh, I always forget that too. That's
all good. He'll work on entering that so you can figure out how to reach us.
So you guys can just reach us at wearegeekcentric@gmail.com. That's wearegeekcentric@gmail.com, or over on Instagram at wearegeekcentric, and on Twitter at geekcentricyt.
Nailed it.
Geekcentric YT.
That's it. Darcy, don't worry. I'm gonna reduce the difficulty on that next time. Keep in mind, we have a ton of other great episodes covering the latest in movies and TV shows, including some spoiler-filled discussions for Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord, the Invincible Season 4, and spoiler-free reviews for those series, as well as spoiler-free reviews for Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg's new epic, Masters of the Universe, Spider Noir, Star Wars The Mandalorian and Grogu, and the Super Mario Galaxy movie. We've got some great interviews coming up soon for Toy Story 5, which we're really looking forward to. We're going to have a review for that coming up as well very soon. We've got a lot of stuff to check out. You can check out our interviews over on YouTube at youtube.com/geekcentric, or here on your podcast service of choice. That is it for now. X-Men 97 Season 2. Can't say anything about it yet, but but that is coming soon, and we're gonna have some thoughts on that very, very soon, as well as Supergirl, a new Spider-Man movie. So many things happening this month and throughout the hot geek summer. It's here, it's hot, it's sweaty, it's geeky. We are Geekcentric, and you can be too. Darcy, thank you so much for chatting with me about all these games and giving your perspective on what you are hyped for.
Which is all of them, basically.
And as we say, love ya.
Laters.